went to your website, and it says you're running as a social conservative. Fine. When I tried clicking on the subject headings of what exactly you stand for, there is no policy there. Nothing happens when you click. Other than we know you want to repeal the liberal sex ed curriculum. What do you stand for?
Well, Terry, I'm more than just my website, and of course I was one of the later entrants to this race, and I'm happy to provide a very detailed explanation, as I have been all this past week, especially in the TVO debate. I've been very clear. I want to repeal the Kathleen Wynne sex ed curriculum. It's inappropriate. It sexualizes children. I'm against the carbon tax. I would say no to that. I don't want any new taxation and no increase in taxation. So those are the main thrusts of my platform.
No increase in taxation.
No increase. That's correct.
The website does say that you are pro-life, and you've just repeated that. What does that mean in practice? Would you put forward legislation to limit women's reproductive rights if you were in power in Ontario?
Well, as you're aware, Terry, that's a federal issue. I'm running in the province of Ontario, and while I am pro-life, and I'm happy to say that, we need to right now focus on the issues that are right now affecting Ontario, and that includes Kathleen Wynne running this province into the ground with her practices.
So what does it mean to say that you're pro-life then?
Well, it means that I respect all human rights and I respect all human life from the moment of conception to natural death.
Okay, now on taxes. You said that you don't want any new taxes, you don't want any increase in taxes, you don't want a carbon tax. All of that leaves a very large multi-billion-dollar hole in the party's platform as it now stands over the life of a new government. So either you got two choices, either you run a deficit or you abandon the tax cuts in that platform. Which do you choose? Well,
that platform was Patrick Brown's platform, and that died the day Patrick Brown resigned. So as a leader, you get to shape your new platform. And listen, Terry, if we had unlimited funds, sure, we could implement many of those things within the platform. But at the end of the day, we need to get back to basics. As a province, we need to look at our budget like most families do. We have must-haves, and then we have wants. And we need to look at those must-haves and say we need to fund those critical areas like healthcare, like education, like infrastructure. But then when we look at the wants, then we'll see what we have left over to spend. You know, if you've got a leaky roof, you don't go out buying the big screen TV. You repair your roof first.
All right, those are good talking points. I don't dispute, but I'm looking for details.
Sure.
I mean, the platform which you say you are free to change, it includes more than $3 billion in personal tax cuts and tax credits for childcare. That's $389 million. Sales tax credits, don't forget that. That's $589
there are a lot of
million. Small business cuts and subsidizing hydro bills and mental health. Without the carbon tax revenue or cap and trade revenue, you either blow up the deficit or you scrap those promises. Which of those promises will you kick to the curb?
Well, let's be clear, Terry. The current cap and trade scheme that Kathleen Wynne is running brings in $1.9 billion. That's what it brings in. So I'm going to ask you, are we not bringing in, is the carbon tax not meant to change behaviors or reduce emissions? Or are we using carbon tax as simply a tax scrap to fund critical and essential programs? If that's what we're talking about, then we need to look and examine that. But right now, it's only generating $1.9 billion.
What about the tax cuts I asked you about? What about the personal tax cuts and the tax credits for childcare and all the rest? What will happen to all of that?
Well, that was part of Patrick Brown's platform, but he's no longer the leader of the party.
Okay, but I'm asking you about your platform.
Well, I've made it very clear. I'm not going to have an increase in taxes, no new taxes. So we're going to have to
So those promises will be abandoned. That's what I'm getting at.
Well, we're going to have to see, Terry, because we only have so much money in this province, and we can only do so much. We can't keep burdening the Ontarians with more and more taxation to fund programs which may not be essential.
Well,
like
we're going to have to see. Don't we have to see now before we decide whether to vote for you?
Well, here's an example. For example, I would get rid of the $14,000 credit that is given to people who buy Teslas. I don't think we need to be giving cash to people who buy Teslas for them buying what is considered an eco car. That's something I would scrap. And by eliminating these little niche programs, I think we would be able to balance our books. Right, I would not want to run a deficit.
With great respect, I'm not asking you about little niche programs. I'm asking you about $3.2 billion in personal tax cuts. Do they stay in your platform? Or shall we forget about that?
Well, the platform's dead, so this is not my platform. When I become leader, I will select a platform.
So I'm asking you, what is your platform?
These are the three essential parts: infrastructure spending, healthcare spending, education spending, no carbon tax, repeal of sex ed, no new taxes, and no increase in taxes.
All right, I can only take from your answers then that you are not committed to any of the promises that I've enumerated here: the personal tax, the tax credits for childcare, the sales tax credits, the small business cuts, subsidizing of hydro bills, mental health. All of that is gone. You won't commit to any of it.
I'm not adopting a platform that was created by a leader who is no longer the leader. When I'm leader, we will create a platform that is costed and a platform that we know that Ontarians can accept and afford.
After you're elected leader.
There we go. But I've outlined many things that I will do. I've been one of the only candidates who outlined what I would do with the carbon taxation. A lot of them are dodging the question. I'm saying specifically what I would do with that.
But all the candidates have signed the pledge not to have a carbon tax, exactly the same as you.
And what would they do when Justin Trudeau comes? Well, I'll tell you what I can do. What I will do is I would fight him every step of the way because I believe in no new taxes, no carbon tax. And if he does force us, I would take him to court. And if he so forces me to adopt a carbon tax on this province, because we shouldn't be forced to adopt taxes from the federal government, then I would change the gas tax name to carbon tax, and that would be our carbon tax.
So you go to court on what grounds? What are your legal grounds for challenging the federal authority to impose a carbon tax?
Well, Ontarians don't need to adopt every single idea that Justin Trudeau comes up with. He has his jurisdiction, we have ours. We need to work on our budget, we need to work on our books. Justin Trudeau should not be meddling in the provincial affairs.
But you haven't answered the question. What are the legal grounds?
Well, we'll have to examine them when we get there. But the legal grounds is Ontario is responsible for handling economic policy and for taxation. So this is not something that Justin Trudeau should impose on us.
All right. I thank you for taking the time. I appreciate this.
Thank you, Terry.
It's been educational. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.